If you can start in A minor and end on A minor, you can create a beautiful piece of music without even having anything in front of you. While this is the end of our 6-week challenge, this is only the start to your musical journey. I can't wait to show you how to play a beautiful song that sounds like this, but that is completely yours. And even you can do this, I promise. So come over to the piano. I can't wait to pull this all together and show you how to play beautiful music without any sheet music in front of you. So if you've been with me for the past 6 weeks, we have been playing in the key of A minor. And if this is your first video, welcome. You can absolutely start here. This is just going to have a lot of information in it. If you want to go back and watch this challenge from the beginning, you can absolutely do that. I'll break everything down in a really slow and easy manner. But for now, we're just going to review the key of A minor. So the key of A minor has two different forms that we're using. First, we're going to start with our natural form, and that's the easiest because it's only white notes. And the scale is found between A and A. So you can play it just like that or with one finger. And then we also talked about the key of A minor being in the harmonic minor, and that's where we take the seventh note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, raise that by a half step. So we're going to do the G sharp instead of the G. And that always leads to the A. So if you do that scale, skip the G sharp. Love that sound. So today we're actually going to use both of those scales. And in order to play with both hands together, I like to start with the scale because it kind of teaches our hands and our ears where we're going for that day. So once we've played the scale once or twice, we're now going to look at the different chords that we have used throughout this chord progression. Now there are many different chords that you can use in the key of A minor. We have stuck with one or two different chord progressions that we have then been able to make a melody and over in the right hand side. So let's look at what those different chords are. So we have an A minor, which is A, C, and E, and we're doing this all in the root position right now. And then we have an F major. And then we have a C major down here. Then we had a choice. We could do the G major and go back to the A. Or instead of doing the G major, we could do our E major, which has the G sharp in it. That was from the harmonic minor, and then go back to A. Today, what I'm going to suggest is that I'm not going to actually give you an order of the chords that you're going to play. So there are a couple rules to this, however. The first one is that we start on A minor and we end on A minor because that's going to get our ear ready to go and know that our piece has come home. Okay, so we have to always begin and end with A minor. The other thing, so if you play the chord progression and you decide to do an E major, I'm going to suggest that you do not go immediately to the G major. You can use the G major earlier or after that, but just not right in the way. The E major chord is going to most often sound best if we go from the 5 chord, which is our E major, to our 1, which is the A minor. And if you do that, it's going to sound great every single time. Okay, so just don't go from the E major to the G. You can, there are instances where you can, but right now we're just going to make that one of our rules. But all of the rest is open for you. That if you just feel like going between an A and an F, and then back to an A, and then back to an F, and then maybe to a C, and then back to the A, or whatever you want to do, you get to decide. Now, with our left hand patterns, we have given several different ways of doing left hand patterns. And for now, I'm going to give you two choices. You can either do the root position every single time, or you can do the representative version. So let's look at what the representative version is for each one of these chords. So we're doing an octave to represent the chord, and then we're putting the fifth in there for each one. So we have A with E in the middle. We have F with C in the middle. We have C with G in the middle. And then for our G major, we have G with D in the middle. And then for our E major, we're going to do the stacked version or the root position chord because I like having the G sharp in there. It could sound like an E major instead of an E minor. I'm going to keep the root position of the E chord, and then we have our A minor. When we put both hands together, you get to now also decide. There's lots of decisions for you today, but hopefully that's freeing and not overwhelming. So the other thing you get to decide is what rhythm that you're going to do over here. So I like doing arpeggios, which is just breaking up the chord like this. So we can do arpeggios in the left and then do an arpeggio in the right. Or you can do an arpeggio over here and just hit the chord if you want to. So actually, let's go through all of the arpeggios on the left and playing the chord on the right, just to get used to moving our hands in the order that we want. Now, for right now, I'm going to call out the chords that we do first. We're just practicing the chords, not necessarily a progression at this point. All right, let's do an arpeggio over here and then the solid chord on the right. We'll do it hands together, and then we'll play 2 times with our chord on the right. So it'll sound like this. And then we move to F, C. Let's go to our E major, and back to our A. And now let's just do our G. And back to our A. That sounded kind of cool, doing it that way, going from the A to the G to the A. Okay, so it's time to pause and see how you're doing. I hope that you're not too overwhelmed. If you want to go back to the beginning and do this at your own pace, I have made this 6-week challenge a free course for you. So all you have to do is click on the description box, and there's a link there. It'll show you the course. So let me know down below how it's all working for you and what you need a little bit more work on to make your music beautiful. For now, let's go back to the piano. Keep going. You've got this. Now, in our right hand, we can do chords, or you can do a simple melody. And the melody can be found between the A and the A. And if you remember that if we're doing the harmonic minor, going from the G sharp to the A, that is our 7th note of the chord, and that is called the leading tone. We want that G sharp to always lead to the A, because if we just did this, sounds like it's missing something. It just makes me cringe a little. I want it to go like that. My brain wants to finish it out. So every time we play a G sharp in our melody, we are going to then go to an A. So now we're going to practice doing some different rhythmic patterns in the left-hand side with arpeggios and just simply doing a little melody in the right-hand side. And now this time, I'm going to just choose a couple of the different chords, show you different orders that I can do them, and only play a melody in the right. And then end on the A. So I want you to fool around with just doing one note first. Once you become comfortable with one note, then we're going to mirror some chords over here. So now let's do the same thing, where again, I'm going to pick and choose the chord order over here on the left, but in the right, this time, I'm going to mirror whatever chord I'm doing over here. So for example, if I'm doing an A minor, over here, I'm going to do an A minor on this side. However, sometimes they don't need to be in the root position. Inversions scare a lot of people. What an inversion is taking the root position chord like that, stacked on top of one another, and playing them in whatever order you want. So we could put this A on top. So now it's C, E, and A. And then we can take the C off the bottom, put that at the top. Now we have E, A, and C. So you could do that all the way down like that. And all of those are A minors. You could do the same thing for F. So you just practice those. Now, if you'd like some exercises and to work on inversions a little bit longer, go ahead and check out this video that's part of this course series. I think that you'll find it very helpful. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to pick a chord progression over here as we're going, just on the fly, whatever I'm feeling. And then in the right-hand side, I'm going to play just the notes of that chord. But you can hear how doing that it makes it start sounding like a melody as well. So let's now give this a try. Then, once you have practiced with the notes of the chord, you now can think about the other fingers that you have. So, each time you play a chord, no matter what inversion it is, let's look at this one, which is E, A, and C, is an inversion of the A minor chord. We have 2 additional notes that are nearby that we haven't used. So, our 2 fingers hovering over the G. Our forefinger is hovering over the B, and we can use them as passing tones. So we can play these notes, but we can also pass on by. Hear that? So I did not play them all at the same time. That would be a muddy mess. But you're playing mostly the notes of the chord over here, and then occasionally hitting other notes to get back to the notes of the chord. At this E inversion, we have G sharp, B, and E. Just as another example, we have our 3 finger hovering above C and our 4 finger hovering above D. So you can occasionally play those. Hear that? So that makes it so that you have now opened up the entire keyboard. This also takes a lot of practice, but once you do this, you realize that everything is available to you, and it's going to sound great if you have the base of whatever chord you are on. So now this time, I'm also going to do the same thing, where I play on the left, I'm going to choose a chord. So for example, the A minor. I have the inversion that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to play around with just the notes that are around that before moving on. So this time I'm going to stay extra long on each inversion of the different chords so that I can show you what is possible with that hand position in the right. Okay, so I'm going to call this out as I go. So let's start with an A minor inversion here. All right, here we go. Let's go to the F. C. Let's go to the E. Now to the A. Let's go to the G now. To the C. To the E. Then A. So hopefully you were able to see how I was able to bring in the other notes that are around the chord inversions. Now, as you decide to sit down, you can absolutely just sit down and whatever comes out, and that is fine. That is a great way to do improvisation. When you sit down at the piano and decide to improvise and you're choosing your different chords over here and you're choosing your inversions and your different melody and all that, you can just let it come out organically. That is absolutely something that you can do, and I love not even really thinking about anything besides the chords and kind of matching the chords on both hands. But I want you to start thinking a little bit about melody and what happens in song. So we want our song to be saying something and to be going somewhere. And the way that I like to do this is to figure out some dynamics and some way of playing before I start. This kind of gives me a direction that I'm moving. So for example, when we start, if I were to start really loud and full at the beginning, it doesn't really feel good to me right now. So this is like a large full beginning. Okay, that's really, really loud and crazy. And I'm feeling very calm right now. So when I begin, I want to start rather lightly. So not much going on in the right hand. And I'm going to be holding each one of these chords for 2 measures as well before moving on. So it can be something just very small with a little kind of repeated pattern in here. Let's try something like this. Before moving on, now let's go to something in F. To G. So I've gone through an entire pattern, and that little pattern was only 3 chords, right? I went from A to F to G, but then I ended again on A. So that was the first part of my pattern. In the first part of my pattern, no matter how long that is, when you end back on A, that's like, okay, my loop has closed for this first time. I went from A to A. This could only be 2 chords. You could go from A to F and then back to A. That's one little pattern, okay? Or we could do A, F, E, A. And that would be, because we ended on A, that was the second pattern. So for one whole pattern, no matter how many chords I do over here, I want it to be light. And then I'm going to slowly grow. I'm going to add a few more notes in here, and I'm going to make it get a little bit bigger in the middle for my second pattern. And then for my third pattern, and again, each one of these patterns could be short or long depending on what you're feeling until you go to the A again. For my third pattern, then I'm going to make it small again. So it's going small, bigger, small. And that, I think, is what really helps a song sound like a real song. So when we put this all together, it will sound like something that was created and really thought about for a long time, even though you're really not. So let's go ahead and combine all of these things. See if we can create a song that has a good solid beginning, a larger middle, smaller end, so that it sounds complete. My joy and my honor to be with you for the past 6 weeks as you have been exploring the key of A minor. However, it doesn't stop there. Every single week, I'll be putting out a video that shows you even more about improvisation. Think about different challenges and different keys to play in. Think about major and minor, playing without sheet music in front of you, but still making beautiful music every single time. Let me know in the comments below what you have enjoyed about this challenge. What is still something that you struggle with? I'd like to dive a little bit deeper into your issues if you have any, and I hope to see you continue on with this journey. Since we have been playing in the key of A minor, the sister key is C major, and that's an easy transition if you only want to stick with white keys. So go ahead and check out this video next.